Good morning, everyone. So I'm looking at this negative energy oscillator, which is just a trickle charger, right? And it trickle charges in a very specific way. I'm not sure how it does it. I don't understand. I don't even know what negative energy means. Does it mean it's a pulse? Are all pulses negative energy? Does anything qualify as negative energy if it's able to send the pulse before there's a resistance? I wonder that. Is that a way of perceiving it? Is that a correct way? Is it accurate in any way at all? Or can it just get me to the next phase of learning, but hopefully in the correct direction? So I was looking at how I can power my other negative energy oscillator because I want to use it to reduce resistance in my new battery. I have a brand new battery here, so it's already low resistance, right? But can a battery resistance be brought down even more? And I do know that any battery can have an infinite lifespan. This is theoretically, practically, not just hypothetically improbable, but actually so. Like, this is something that people have done, which is how do we use energy in a battery? How do we put energy into a battery, if that's what's taking place, if we say it that way, to help keep that battery, if I just say, rejuvenated? Aubrey de Grey is working on this with the human body. There's many people, many scientists throughout history that have achieved using electricity to rejuvenate cells. And I think part of that's because in the mitochondria of the cell, of the human biology cell, is a perfect memory of an absolutely healthy cell. That means when someone's dying, they still have their cells in their body, every single one of them has a memory in there, inside the mitochondria, if I understand correctly. Confirm this for yourself, of an absolutely perfect cell. So it seems worthy to invest our education in that awareness and to support our health in every way we can, which I understand to mean, in part, being supportive to Aubrey de Grey, even if it's just talking about him and sharing the fact that we are going to reverse aging someday. And he believes it's going to be someday soon. And it's just partly a matter of people's awareness of it, really. Just, do you want to live? And that is, do you want to live disease-free and healthy, right? Because disease is what deteriorates the body. And that's kind of like a natural progression as we age. But aging is not necessary. We don't have to, the copies of ourselves, as they keep copying one another, don't have to degrade and degrade and degrade and degrade as they keep making more copies and more copies and more copies, right? That doesn't have to be the case, because unlike a copy machine, where you make a copy of a copy and a copy of a copy and the quality just goes down and down, unlike that, the cell has that perfect memory in it, right? Every copy has a perfect memory of being healthy. So even though the cell is deteriorating in so many ways, we could say it has the potential to be what it once was. So, which you could just pick your age, like, what age did you like? What's your favorite age? And then you just kind of reverse your aging to that point, and you could live without end. You could still have accidents and die of an accident, but you wouldn't die from the aging process, right? So then I think life would probably become a lot more valuable to people if you could actually live really long. But then I think my next thought is, but wouldn't life be most valuable when it's short? Like, oh, we got to make the most of it. But instead of people living like a really quality life, I've often heard people say, well, I have to do this really dangerous thing, like jump out of an airplane, because I have to do these thrilling things before I die, right? I don't understand that. That might be one of those things where it's like the human being is very contradictory. And I know I'm contradictory too, and I try to be less contradictory. That's one of the things I work on. So, in my own development, my own self-development. So, I was looking for a power supply for this, and I don't actually know that I have one because I kind of made one out of this. This thing was, this is like, I don't know what that was for, but it was around 17 volts or something, or 18 volts. And this wants up to 15 volts of an input. So I thought, well, that's pretty close. And especially when it said it charges 1 to 48 volt batteries or higher depending on the input, I thought, well, maybe if I give it a little more voltage, it'll let me charge a higher voltage battery, right? Even though if you read the paper, it seems to indicate that you don't want to do that. But I'm going to go with what I'm reading right here, okay? That's what I'm doing. So we are up to 21.9 volts though. So I'll have to watch that because there's nothing that's going to stop it from charging. Once it gets full, it's going to keep going, right? I have to watch it manually. So, and the battery's not getting warm, everything's staying cool to the touch. But it's critically important that I not unplug this battery when I'm done charging it. I have to turn the power off to this first. This always has to have a load connected to it. That means the output wires from this have to be connected to a battery or something that's lets this do work, okay? Or it'll damage it. So I'll continue to look for a power supply for that, for something that's, the main thing that seems to be it's important is the voltage not be, I guess, too much higher than this, I'm guessing. That's just a guess, because it says depending on the input voltage, right? So it sounds like this battery being an 84 volt battery, 84 volts, I'm going to go beyond the 48 volts, so I'm going to go a little higher on the input volts, but I don't want to go too much higher, maybe 20 volts in, but I'm thinking, what do I have that's around 20 volts in? And that amperage, right, the half amp max, right? Now it doesn't say max volt, it said the max is next to the amp, so I don't want to put more than half an amp in it. The voltage could be higher. This is just my own thoughts reading this, okay? I'm interpreting. So I'm trying to think, what do I have that would let me put a half amp or less at 24 volts? Ooh, I can use my DC to DC. I might be able to use this. Yes, I might be able to use this. This bumps voltage up. I can connect. Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, see? Thank you. I didn't think of that till right now. This is what I'm talking about. I want you guys to do this too. Make videos and share your thought process. You can turn the comments off. A lot of people have started using YouTube when I've told them, you don't have to communicate with people on YouTube. You can just make videos and share the videos, have the comments turned off. And they're like, really? Oh my gosh, I'll do that. I want to share things with people. And they can even monetize their channel and stuff. I'm not sure if they could do it right away, but eventually that's something that could be done. I'm not sure how all that works, how many people you have to have subscribed and all that. But people, it's built in us. You could just see YouTube blossomed, it bloomed, it grew so fast. Everyone loves to share, right? It's part of us. It's like we're made of the universe. There's no part of us that's not made up of the universe, okay? So that's why it's obvious that there's life of every unimaginable kind, including far, far more intelligent than us. And I'm talking about like hundreds of thousands of years more developed and intelligent, right? I mean, to me, that would be so exciting to see that, to experience, you know, to visit. How else do I say it? To say hi, you know, to go to their museums, to read their books, things like this, right? But because the whole universe is interconnected instantaneously, I'm already there. I'm already connected to it. So all I have to do is believe in myself, which is to believe in the space that sustains me in a way, which is the universe. We're all interconnected. It's why we need to stop harming each other, because it just doesn't make any sense. And I'll have to make some videos that talk about that. Okay, everyone, so we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.